Hiya folks, Jonathan here again, Spiritual Speakeasy. I think we're on number 10 right now. And thank you very much to all those people who dropped me lovely comments and given me a like and a subscribe. I really do appreciate that. My guides told me many years ago that we need to try and get these messages out as much as we can. And it's very difficult, it's a really tough job. Some people seem to kind of get a foothold and things take off for them. But in my little world, things seem to be going step by step at the moment, which is absolutely fine. But any help from you wonderful people out there to get the spiritual messages out, particularly if they resonate with you, would be absolutely amazing, and that would be a true boost for me and for my guides to be able to hopefully, if you can, enlighten people a little bit, or just let's call it sowing seeds. That's how I like to put it, or think of it. Sowing seeds, putting a different perspective on what we class as reality. And that is such a huge statement, a different perspective on reality. We all have our own version of that reality. We all follow a pathway. We all go down certain pathways in life that take us to dead ends. Some take us to different places, different experiences. And life itself is all about that. It's all about going down different pathways, trying this, trying that, until we find what resonates with us. And when we find that absolute balance, or that perfect mix of things that really mean something to us, things that kind of touch the heart, then that's the pathway that we tend to stick onto. So just everybody out there right now, we are on this pathway, we are on our own pathways, but also a pathway for the future of humanity as well, which is massively, massively important to each and every living soul. So, I was just looking through some writings that I'd done a little while ago, actually, and I've got it on my iPad. It's just in front of me here, so I hope you don't mind me just reading it out to you as it is. And it was interesting because it's so relevant to now, and this was channeled information, and it was written on the 16th of October 2015. So we're kind of talking 6 years ago now, and it was called, well, I entitled it "The War on Consciousness." And it kind of grabbed my attention because I thought, you know what, that's exactly what we're going through right now. We're going through this war on consciousness. And I'm going to read it to you if that's okay. So I'll read it kind of word for word and perhaps might make a few comments on it. So here goes. Okay, folks. It makes me sad to see people being duped by the lies of politicians and the media. We are led to believe that there is a war on terrorism. Do you remember that, folks? Terrorism? Do you remember all that hoo-ha we had over terrorism? Where have the terrorists gone right now? Where are the terrorists? Are they hiding behind masks, literally? I'm not quite sure. You might want to ask yourselves that question, because that was massive news at one time. It seems to have gone a little bit quiet, though. So, we're led to believe that there's a war on terrorism. Well, you could argue that every single government on this planet are the terrorists. And I'm pretty sure they always have been, and unless we actually do something about it, they always will be. So we have that choice to do something about it. And I put on, following on, but this is just a tragic ruse to hide the real war. The war on consciousness. If you're not aware, there is another battle raging. One that claims thousands of real people's lives on a daily basis in the name of falsehood. Many are still blind to this, and many are still not willing or ready to accept the truth. I think that statement there, that sentence there resonates quite strongly right now. It's far easier to succumb to blissful ignorance, and oh my giddy aunt, some days do I wish I was blissfully ignorant. But I chose the tough path, I chose the spiritual path, and even Jesus himself said that if you take that pathway, that is the rocky, steep road. So, if you take the spiritual path, you realise that we're all warriors in a fight to bring love, peace and freedom back to this world. And again, some days I get this surge of energy, of remembering my truth, the truth that I came here to play a very small part in helping humanity forward. And I don't mean that from a point of ego. I mean that from a point of love. And there are days when I feel that we're losing the battle, and there are days which spur me on to continue the fight, knowing that we will triumph. There has never been a more important time in human history for us all to realise that we are one. There is no separation. It is an illusion brought about by this self-created physical reality. And it is an illusion. It's an absolute illusion. This is as illusory as any other fantasy that anybody could ever possibly have. And be under no illusion that it is an illusion. The dark forces present in this world are striving to separate and divide us right down to the place in which we stand. And again, how true is that sentence right now? That we are being brought to an absolute point of extreme individuality, making us feel isolated and alone, even doubting who we are as a person. These people are absolute masters of physical manipulation, physical reality, and that above all, including the mind. They are the masters of mental manipulation. They can make you believe that black is white and white is black. And that if you don't believe what they wish you to believe, then you are the one who is in the wrong. You are the dissenter. You are the one who has something wrong with you. And in many cases, carrying on here, it says they have won this battle, it seems. We are divided by country, by gender, politics, religion, race, personal taste, culture, and many other things. If we need any proof that division is their agenda, look at how they have attacked the one thing that unites us all. Family. Can we not see how the strength of family has been eroded by political views and selfish actions? These were words, folks, that were given to me in 2015. And what is one of the ultimate things that has been attacked through these times? It's the family, the bond between us, the separation between us. People being made to believe that you cannot hug your mother, father, children, or whomever, the ones that you love. And carrying on, we do not win this battle with hatred, fear, pain, division, apathy, and living lies. We win this battle with love and compassion, and by understanding that we are all warriors tasked with helping each other to awaken those who still sleep. 2015, folks. It's time to join the fight. Wake up, free ourselves, free the spirit within, and walk into a new future, a new reality free of lies and fear, a future filled with love. Let us now reclaim our true home. 16th of October 2015. The people who gave me this information, the beings, the spirit, call them whatever you want. I truly have no idea what their existence is like. But the words that they gave me 6 years ago absolutely resonate right now. These beings know our plight. These beings are with us and they are wanting to help us. Now, this brings me on to the main topic of this spiritual speakeasy, and something I've been thinking of very recently in the last few days. Can we trust the truthers? And I can honestly say that I see myself as a truther. Can we trust those people who we see as speaking the truth? There are a lot of people out there right now posting on Facebook, on YouTube, on whatever platform springs to mind, and there's so many now, can't even remember, and so many that I can't even be bothered with, to be honest. And there has been a bombardment of information. And let's look at that division that was spoken about in these words back in 2015. That sitting on two sides of the fence, we've got two divisions, if you like. The people who, let's call ourselves the truthers, and the people who we call the mainstream. Now, the thoughts I've been having are these. Both sides feel that they are right, that what they believe is right. Now, in war, surely that has always been the case, that whichever side you are with believes that it is right. And this is another reason why we can call this a war on consciousness. Because the war on consciousness is a war on belief, on the deep-rooted feelings that come from our very souls. But here goes. I'm going to kind of put a few seeds, sow a few seeds, put a few ideas out there. The people who are speaking these so-called truths, where is that coming from? If I was a general or a high-ranking officer and I had an army to lead and I had at my disposal some very strong intelligence, or let's say intelligence services, I could use disinformation to try and undermine the enemy. So whilst it may be that truthers feel as though they know the truth, what actually is the truth? Because I am getting the very strong impression that the truthers are being played just like the other side. That those who manipulate the reality will want to control both sides. And this, folks, is what I'm putting to you right now, is be aware that whatever is put in front of you may be manipulation. It is just another form of manipulation, and it will be designed to appeal to your ideas, ideals, and beliefs. And those who ultimately manipulate can happily sit back and watch the two sides warring with each other, knowing full well that they have total and utter control. So I want to go back right to my very first spiritual speakeasy video. And the question was, how do we find truth in a world of lies? And the answer really that came from that was that we have to find it within. I've absolutely lost count of the number of posts I've seen with no source, no information, just a screenshot on a mobile phone with perhaps a tenuous link to a Facebook page. And that's the only source that I've been able to find from them. We are all on an awakening path, whichever side of the fence we believe that we're on. But right now, we have to question the reality. We have to question our reality. Question the truth. Question the source. And many of these posts that I've seen from these so-called truthers are at their very base just fear. Another form of fear. And some people will post things because it will create a reaction, and that's an ego thing. Some people will post things because, oh, you know, I've got to share this, or share it now before it gets taken down. As soon as I see anything like that, I switch off. Anything that we take on board that connects with the soul has to come from a place of love, has to come from a place of non-fear, from a place of love, from a place of encouragement, from a place of working out how we can move forward, how we can take ourselves forward into a better world. And just in my last spiritual speakeasy, I spoke about this. Now is the time for ideas. Now is the time for us to come together to share our ideas. Not to constantly keep posting information, sensationalist information with no foundation, no source, and no apparent truth behind it, or any form of encouragement or love, but only creating more fear. And when that comes to me and I read that stuff and see that stuff, I then see the manipulation behind it. So folks, look within. This has always been the message. Look within. Look inwards for your own truth. Because this is where it lives. It doesn't live out there on a screen, okay, in a small screenshot. It lives within humanity. It lives within us all. It lives in the beauty and creation that we see every day around us in this planet. This planet is an absolute reminder to us all that there is love and design in creation, and that there is a purpose to life. And now we have to bring forward those plans, those ideas of how we can formulate a new world. People who are professionals, the bankers, people who work in central government, people who work in these positions of authority, people who work in construction, people who work in shaping the reality that we see around ourselves. These are all people now that we need to be building up a community with, bringing everybody together, our combined experience, bringing all those people, the compassionate people, the earth people, the carers, the people who would uphold the lies, need to now be thinking about what they are doing. What are you doing out there? What are you actually contributing to a love-based society, a love-based community? Just come together, folks, now, and let's all start to talk about the future, about where we are going. There is a war on consciousness. The war is raging, but however we perceive that to be, the war is actually being won. It's not been won just yet in our physical consciousness of reality. However, we are winning it. We are taking great strides. But we now need to put in place this foundation, bringing people together, pooling our ideas. And don't worry about having to think about things, because we have so much information that's available to us through the Spirit. Through the Spirit, we have a direct connection to our higher consciousness, to the greater consciousness. And all we have to do is learn to tap into that. And I will happily teach you how to do that. That is one of the reasons why I'm here, to help people tap into that higher consciousness, that field of truth, that field of information that is open to every single human being on this planet. And that divine wisdom that is now just eager to come through and help us. So remember that, folks. Remember that you are divine. If you saw my last video, you'll have met Pig. Well, Pig now is wanting to go out, which means that it's time for me to stop the video. And I've got to help a little cat. I don't know why she wants to go out. It's not very pleasant outside, but she seems to want to. So thank you for listening once again, folks. Please drop me a like or a comment. Please share this stuff. I'm just kind of wondering whether I am walking the right pathway some days, you know, and I've got to be honest with myself and go, well, if it's the right thing to do, then hopefully it will get out there. If not, then, you know, there may be other avenues to channel this information. But I thought that perhaps YouTube might be a good place, a good platform to do that. So if we can spread the love, sow the seeds, keep doing that, keep spreading that love, that compassion, caring for each other, being kind to each other, and pooling our ideas together and just visualizing that new wonderful world that we all know we can create. We just have to have the will to create it, and to stop the fear-based influx, to take that vibration away from us. That fear that holds us back, that suppresses the divine spirit. And there will be a time when we'll see that dissipate and disappear completely. But we've got to work to it, folks. We've got to work for it. We can't just think that it's going to happen. Okay, we've actually got to take action. It is a physical world. And in physical reality, we have to take action. So come on, folks, let's get together. Have a wonderful day, whatever you're doing, or evening, whatever time you see this. And let's go forward. Okay. Love and light to every single one of you. And thank you once again for tuning in.